Hi and welcome to a special episode of Knit All the Things. This is 15 spring and summer patterns that you won't be able to resist. I chose cardigans, tees, and tanks that are going to be amazing to wear in the summer and spring, the warm weather months. And some of them you can even use wool if you wanted to wear them in cooler climates. I also am sure going to miss some of your favorite patterns, so I would love it if you could comment. One that I would like to point out is the Trestle Tee. This is a pattern by Tif Neilan. It is a sport weight top-down knit sweater. It has drop shoulders, so you're gonna knit the front and the back separately, and then you're gonna join in the round for the body. She then has you pick up the sleeves, and here's where there's a cute detail. There is a 2-color fisherman's rib detail on the cuffs, and I feel like this is such a special spot where you can have just a flash of color and a little bit of joy in your knit. It features a beautiful lace detail across the chest and the back shoulder, and I really could imagine this being so beautiful in tonal yarns or even a neutral with a pop of color for that 2-color fisherman's rib detail. It is offered in 10 sizes and the gauge is 20 stitches per 4 inches or 10 centimeters, and this is in stockinette. So I always love it when they let you do a little stockinette swatch to make it a little bit easier when you're swatching. It always encourages me to swatch. I also want to point out that this is a little bit of a cropped sweater, but since you're knitting it from the top down, you're going to be able to try it on and decide how long you want to make this sweater. You may keep that in mind when you are trying to buy yarn for this project, because you're going to want to make sure you have enough yarn in case you decide to lengthen it. Okay, next up is Wild Roses. This is by Knitting for Breakfast, and this is a fingering weight sweater, and it's knit top down in the round. It has both texture and lace, and it's knit in 2 colors, although I could imagine it being very beautiful knit in just one single color, or even switching it up and adding more. So this one, the gauge is 23 stitches, and that is, a pretty good, even a little bit of a loose gauge for fingering weight. So it's going to be a nice and breezy top. And especially with that beautiful lace work all the way on the yoke and also at the bottom of the sweater, I think it's going to be just beautiful. I also really love the sleeve detail. I think it's so pretty. It reminds me of like lace popping out underneath of another sweater. I think it's so pretty. That makes me want to knit it in 2 colors because I like that little bit of difference that she shows in her sample. Although I did see, again, just in 1 color, this one really shines. It has so much fun and detail that it will be a beautiful, fun knit. You get to do the fun lace, then you get a little break with stockinette. It's really, I think, a beautiful knit. And again, that one is knit top down in the round. The next one that I have to share with you is the Hollowbrook top. This top is a 24 stitch gauge. It is made with fingering weight, and what sets it apart is the delicate lace inserts that adorn the shoulders and the front and back. It kind of has a nice touch of femininity, and I really think that it would be very flattering on so many different body types. I especially like the front and back being the same. I think sometimes there's patterns that have like a plain back, but I do like that it's kind of continues on to the back of the sweater. You also have a set-in sleeve, so the sleeves have this like nice drape to them. It's just a really overall beautiful top. I also think it would be so pretty layered, so you could wear it in the winter months, just throw on a cardigan. The next pattern is, I feel like, a beautiful basic, like solid staple for your closet. It is the Rowdy tank. This is a pattern by Caitlyn Turowski. This is a sport weight top. It's knit top down. You do some of the shaping at first, and then you join in the round and you just knit in the round. This, I believe, is really, really flattering. The way that she has the shoulders, I always love it when they have like a very thin thin strap detail and then they add ribbing. I always think that is a beautiful look, especially for tank tops. This one has a gauge of 22 stitches, and her version is knit in a lace held double, but I can imagine doing this in a thicker gauged yarn, and you could forego the kind of fuzzy yarn, if you will, and just substitute it in for a maybe cotton blend or something else. And I think that would just look very elegant, and it would be a piece that you probably could rotate in your wardrobe all the time. I also feel like this shape lends to maybe becoming a vest in colder months. So I think that is a really special way that you could wear it. Okay, next up is the Vine Tee. The Vine Tee is a pattern by Athena Liu, and it is knit from the top down. It has like a special raglan detail, like a little vine kind of twisted, wandering twisted stitches, if you will. I think this is really, really pretty. It also is knit from the top down. The back, to kind of add a little bit of shaping to this otherwise very like raglan standard fit, after you finish the yoke, she actually adds in some short rows to kind of lengthen the back body, and that will give you a really beautiful fit. You also have the option of doing a long split hem on the side, or short, or not at all. And I think every way that I've seen this presented is just absolutely beautiful. There's also a lot of guidance for yarn choice, whether or not you want to hold something single or double. And this particular pattern is a DK weight pattern, and the gauge is 20 stitches. Okay, next up is the Oolong tank. This is a pattern by Aimee Sher. It is a fingering weight pattern. It is knit from the bottom up. This has a beautiful lace pattern in the front, like a front center panel that then continues along the V-neck. Because this is knit bottom up, you just want to keep in mind how long you're going to want your body to sit on you. And I would also consider the color choice that you're going to knit this one in. I really, really love the different samples that I saw. She knit two, and I think I preferred her purple version, or their purple version, because while you could still see the lace, it was like less obvious, which I actually kind of liked. Like you could see that there was a lace pattern, but I really enjoyed that it was like very subtle. And they have a green one, and the green one, I feel like you could see the lace more, which may be advantageous depending on how you want to wear it. So I think it's just all going to be dependent upon personal choice. I personally would wear something for sure underneath of it, and so I would be considering that when I'm knitting it and choosing colors, because I would want to make sure that if I was like wearing a black tank, for example, underneath of it, what I would want that to look like if it was going to show through it all, which it probably would. This, I think, also could be turned into a vest. So again, like if you want to knit this, you could wear it in the summer as a summer top, and then in the winter, turn it into a vest and wear it over like a collared shirt. I think it would be really cute, or a long sleeve shirt of some kind. On the Oolong tank, there is a gauge of 25 stitches, and that is in stockinette. One thing that's really drawing me in for this season is sweaters that have flutter sleeves or a ruffle of some kind on the sleeve. I'm really interested in that look, and I think it's really elegant and fun. It also has a little bit of a flirtiness to it, if you will. So I really liked the butterfly sweater. This is by Minimi Knit Design, and it is a sport weight sweater that is knit top down, and you can finish the edges of the sleeve in a couple of different ways. You can do a smooth finish, or you can actually add a little pea coat bind off, which I thought was just the cutest ever. I think if I were to knit it, I would 100% do that. I can imagine it in a beautiful burgundy color. Like, oh, it's so pretty, and I absolutely love it. But you knit it from the top down, and then you pick up those gorgeous sleeves and make those they did design it so that the body is very fitted, and then you have the blousiness of the sleeve. So I think that is kind of a very elegant way to have maybe a more fitted sweater, but also not feel like it's too tight. The next one, because we're gonna stick on little ruffles for a moment, is the Flutter Buttshirt by Jessie Maed Designs. This is a fingering weight pattern. It has a gauge of 18 stitches per 4 inches or 10 centimeters, and it is knit from the bottom up, and then you work the front and the back flat. Then I believe you would pick up for the sleeves, which are just that beautiful ruffle again. I really like this shirt because I like that it has almost like a boat neck top of the shirt. I think that's really elegant and pretty. You still get the like feminine ruffles, and I just think it's a very fun, flirty shirt. I've seen it done in a very huge amount of positive ease to a little bit of positive ease, and I think both ways really are elegant depending on what look you're going for. The next pattern that I have is the Corran cardigan. This is by Rebecca Clow, and this is a worsted weight pattern, and I really thought this was so fun. It has a gauge of 14 stitches, and that's in the lace pattern. So it is like a beautiful lace cardigan. You can do it long sleeve or short sleeve. I think either would be really nice in the warmer weather, depending on how warm your weather gets. I thought it was a cute top, just having it be short sleeved and all the way buttoned up, or having it be like an open cardigan, I think is just very flattering. I really love that her patterns, if you look on Ravelry, show a lot of different bodies wearing them, and so I think that helps to envision like how you want it to look. There's also 2 neckline options. You can do it round neck or V-neck, and I thought that was really nice and kind of generous, because a lot of patterns it's like one neckline this way and then you have to get a second one to get the other neckline, but this one's included in the same pattern, so you can choose how you want that to look. The next pattern I have for you is the Misurina by Boyland Knitworks, and I think it is probably the most fun summer pattern that I have made. I've made 2 of them. They're really fun to make. I would say that it is a gauge of 20 stitches, and that's in the colorwork portion of the sweater. And I would keep in mind while knitting this that there is a considerable space between the colorwork motifs. So you might, if you're going to do a warm weather yarn, such as a linen or cotton, you may consider doing ladder back jacquard just to make sure that your colorwork is laying flat and nice. I absolutely love the way mine turned out, and I use that technique. It is not in the pattern, but it is very easy to do and very Googleable. You can Google it. You know what I mean. The next one that I wanted to talk about is the Summer Child Cardigan. The Summer Child Cardigan is a pattern by Meiju Kallio, and this is a DK weight top-down cardigan. It has lace around the yoke and it has short sleeves, and I thought this was a really fun one. I think that it would be really cute to wear with little pearl buttons. You could make it very dressy, or you could make it probably dressed down, but I thought it was such a fun, kind of different summer-esque, summer and spring type of warm weather knit. It has a gauge of 22 stitches per 4 inches or 10 centimeters, and I think like you could do short sleeve. You could probably lengthen the sleeves and make it a long sleeve. Either way, I really like the little bit of lace at the top, and I think it's a really fun pattern. The next one I have is the Staple Linen Top. This is a pattern by Joji Locatelli, and it is really what it says. It's a staple linen top. It has a beautiful detail of twisted stitches down the front center. I think that this is knit top down, but I'm actually not 100% sure. Either way, it is a beautiful like staple. I could imagine you wearing it a lot. If you wanted to, you could also probably knit it in a wool and make it a vest if you were interested in just more of a vest like pattern. But if you knit it in linen, I think it's really elegant, and it's really a fun, like very timeless shape of garment. The gauge is 21 stitches, and it isn't it in a sport weight fabric or sport weight suggested. And she used linen, but again, you could use wool. You could use a little bit thicker, probably yarn, since the gauge is 21 stitches, and make it a vest if you wanted. The next pattern I wanted to share is the Gust. This is by Rachel Brockman. It has fluttery sleeves. It's like a fluttery sleeve tee with a beautiful dot stitch pattern, and it has a little keyhole in the back, and I thought that was so cute. Don't ask me why. I am in love with these little fluttery sleeves. So this one is worsted weight. It is 19 stitches in that dot stitch pattern, and I just really loved the little keyhole in the back. It also is A-line, so I imagine it has a little bit of body shaping, and you can kind of adjust that to fit your needs. And I just thought it was so fun. It's a fun twist on maybe a plain tee, making it a little bit more special. The next one I have, the Poet Tee, is a pattern by Sari Nordlund. It's a gauge of 20 stitches. This one is knit from the top down, and it is a raglan style pattern. So your increases are just doing raglan style. You have a lace panel in the front and the back. And I think this would be such a fun tee. So this one is a DK weight pattern. She also had her original, I think it's just called the Poet and not Poet Tee, in a fingering weight. So it's either fingering or sport weight. So you could decide what weight you want to knit. But either way, I don't think you can go wrong with this pattern. It is so pretty. I think it would be flattering on many bodies, and I just absolutely love the lace detail. And last but not least, number 15 is the White Mountains Light by Midori Hirose. Now you might say, Laurel, this is a long sleeve pattern. It is, and it's not. She also added a supplement to the pattern that now gives it details to make short sleeves or like more of a vest shape. And the nice thing about this is if you already have this pattern, it's just been updated. So you can check your library for that. It's made from Sport to DK yarn, but if you wanted, the regular White Mountains, not White Mountains Light, also has this supplement, and that is worsted weight. So you get to pick whatever yarn and gauge you want, and then choose one of those two patterns that are going to just be the cutest little tiny tank you've ever seen, or vest. So those are my patterns. I really hope you enjoyed them. If I missed one of your favorite patterns, please leave it in the comment below. If we're not yet knitting besties, you can hit that subscribe button and like this video. It tells YouTube that other fiber enthusiasts like yourself enjoy this type of content. Until next time, make yarn magic. Bye.